In a world where hopium and common sense collide, starring the CryptoKeeper and BlockchainCrusader. Welcome to Debate Crypto. Question everything, trust nothing. It's your boys, CryptoKeeper, BlockchainCrusader, here with another edition of What If Wednesday. And we've got a what if for you this evening. Super excited about it. Make sure that you guys smash the likes. Make sure you follow us on all of our socials, including our Discord. Make sure you join the Discord. The link is down below the video. That's probably the biggest thing you could do right now to get involved in our NFT project and just involved with us as a whole. Just join us there. Miguel, what is on the podium tonight, brother?
We got Bitcoin through radio frequency into the outer spaces. No, just kidding, guys. But situation,
well,
right?
Not really totally kidding. I mean,
not totally kidding. I don't know about outer space. We're going to have to talk about that with Elon. But
Starlink
down here on Earth, if the grid goes down, what happens to Bitcoin? What happens to cryptocurrencies? Is it game over? Right? We've had this discussion before. We should be worrying about bigger things than that, but it is something to worry about nonetheless. There's communities out there of people that believe that gold and silver are the solution and that they shouldn't be holding cryptocurrencies, but I think they're mistaken. And this is going to talk about exactly that.
Yeah, so we're going to be getting into some probably one of the biggest what ifs that originally, Miguel, that's always the question when somebody's new to crypto. They're like, well, what happens if the grid goes down, or what happens if the electric goes out, or whatever? And ultimately the real answer, and we'll dive deep into this, but the real answer is you got a lot more to worry about than what's happened with your crypto holdings if the freaking grid actually goes down. But we actually do have a solution for you as well as it relates to your crypto. So stick around. Make sure you guys check it out. Real quick, let's do a market update. Let me share my screen here right quick. Here we go. And the market up 0.57% at 1.94 trillion with a T. That's just up a little bit over the last day, but hey, better up than down. Bitcoin at 42,434 right now. ETH has been just flirting with and jumping over and then jumping back and jumping over and jumping back 3K. So want to see it hold 3K. That's super important. BNB pretty much flat, 406. XRP pretty much flat, 83 cents. Cardano has been ripping, up 31.39% over the last week, up 11.78% today. Same thing with Terra Luna. It's been just on a tear over the last, 4 months or so. Solana up a few percent, and then Avalanche rounding out the top 10 at 0.0.
Terra Luna was named very properly. It is 100% on a trajectory to the moon. It's going up and nothing but to the right, because even with the market down, it's just pumping.
It should be Terra Muna because it's on a Terra to the moon now.
Terrible dad joke.
I know, terrible dad joke. I know. But Miguel, are we gonna do any TA tonight, or are we gonna jump right into the what if?
Nah, let's just jump into the what if. The TA has been exactly the same, right? We just crossed over 42,000. We're still flirting with that 42,000K level. Are we gonna hold it? Or are we gonna drop below? If we drop below, back down into the 30s probably. But if we can hold it, maybe we'll start making a climb back up to the higher 40s.
If you are on one of our other socials right now, make sure that you jump over to YouTube, Debate Crypto, no spaces. That's where you're going to be at that. If you want to interact with us this evening, this is going to be a pretty deep conversation. It's going to be a fun conversation, but if you want to actually interact, we're going to be doing that on YouTube. I'm sorry, guys. That's the only place that I can only do so much. Miguel can only do so much, so make sure you run over there. And again, jump into our Discord. The information is down below. So let's get right into it. Okay, so the question is always this. What happens? And it can be a lot more than just this scenario, but we'll start with this. What happens, Miguel, if we wake up tomorrow and the power grid has gone down? What happens with crypto? What happens outside of crypto? Let's talk it through. So you wake up tomorrow morning, The grid's down. What do you do?
I'm not going into work, that's for sure. I'm staying home today, baby.
That's the first thing you come up with. The whole world is like melting down in front of you, and you're like, yes, I don't have to work today.
Well, the thing is that you wouldn't know that the world's melting down around you, right? You would wake up and say, oh, man, my house is out of power. Must have been outside somewhere. Power post must have, blown, and that's it. We're out of power. Don't worry, I'll kick back in a few hours. Worst case scenario, you know. Then you might go check your phone and be like, "Damn, my phone's not working either. No signal. What's going on here?" But now you
Mhm.
can't communicate with anybody, right? So then you're gonna have to go drive down to a family member's house or drive down to a friend's house. And say, "Hey, man, are you experiencing the same issue I am? Because this is kind of weird, don't you think?" Hours will go by, and then you're gonna be like, "Wait a minute."
Ever can't get a hold of
Wait,
anybody.
yeah,
Internet
wait
is
a minute.
mhm.
So that's when things start. You start. Oh man, start realizing what's happening. Instantly, you should, if you've been preparing, you would know. Oh man, no power, no grid, no phones, no phone signal. Something's going down. I gotta get ready,
Yeah.
and kick into
Or you should have
action.
already been ready.
Well, no, I mean get ready as in like ready to
Yeah.
get kicked into action.
Right.
With all your preps or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but most people aren't like that. Most people will just sit down and say, "It'll come back on in a few hours," and a few more hours go by. Oh, don't worry, it'll come back on later, tomorrow, tonight, hopefully this week,
Yeah.
hopefully in the next 2 weeks,
You
and
know
they'll
the
just keep
the
waiting.
reality that I think people don't think about is everything at this point operates via internet, right? Your bank does not, I've talked about this before, but your bank does not keep a ledger, a written down ledger of what's, going on in your account. So you're not going to be able to go there. Actually, you're not going to be able to pump gas because these
Yeah.
gas stations are operating the same way and getting the information from the pump to them and actually pumping. And plus, I don't know what the actual mechanism is that runs the power, but I can all but guarantee you there is
It's yeah.
electric somewhere that is allowing that, that process to actually happen.
Yeah, unless they have some type of generator inside that gas station to power up the gas station and say, "Hey, we're only accepting cash
Yeah.
just for the gas," then that would be the only solution. That would be temporary. Eventually, that is going to run out. People are going to eventually run out of cash. People don't
Yeah.
carry endless amounts of cash anymore. Everything
Right.
is pretty much in debit cards, credit cards, and
Yeah.
in cryptocurrencies. So eventually, that's not going to last. So that's not going to be a forever solution.
Yeah.
And most places are just going to close down. Most people are just going to be like, "Hey, I'm not even going to deal with this whole cash thing and the register." And most people just be like, "Hey, we're out of power right now." Because when I used to work at Advanced Auto Parts, if the power went out, which happened multiple times with the network, just the internet went down, we're like, "Hey, we're not accepting any payments.
Close it down.
Not,
Yep.
not even cash, nothing. No, we're not buying or selling anything because everything needs to be, with the computer saying, hey, this amount was taken out of storage, and we're selling this unit, we're selling that unit, and same way it works with the rest of the world. So
Yeah.
things just instantly shut down.
Yeah. And, it's a scary situation. Like you said, people aren't going to probably recognize at first how serious and how, because I think we take it for granted, right? Um, I think we take for granted all that our current world provides for us. At least in America, I know for sure we do. And at first, it would feel like an inconvenience, and then I think it would start to set in for people with the things that they take for granted that they can't think about. Even when the power goes out in your house, like all of a sudden you go to do something, and you're like, "Oh, my, I can't microwave like food. Oh, wait a minute, I have an electric oh no,
Yeah, how many people honestly know how to heat up food properly outside of using a microwave?
yeah,
Most people don't. Most people's like, wait, what? I can heat up food without a microwave. There was a time when the microwave was not the way you heated up food. There was
right,
other methods on heating
other
up food.
options, yep."
Yeah.
And check this out. So, Sean, I was in the Marine Corps, so I'm very familiar with these three letters, MRE. They may not taste great, but it can get you through a certain period of time. So, let me say something though, Sean. I will listen, and don't lie, people in the chat. Drop a one in the chat if you have like true food storage, like maybe you have MREs or you actually have a ton of food store. Like
Yeah. The question
drop a
is
one or drop a
how?
two if you just don't. Like drop a two if you just, hey, if all of a sudden everything shut down and I didn't have food, I wouldn't have anything there. And then you move to the next, step in the process where it's like, well, okay, now
Yeah.
now
The
my
question is,
family's
how
got to
long
eat.
is that? How much food do you have stacked up for? Have you counted how many people are in your household, how many calories each person eats per day, and how
Yep.
many meals you have for X amount of days without reserves, right? How long is it gonna last? It's gonna last you 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years,
Dude,
3 years,
that's a
2
huge,
weeks
yes. That the long scale, the long term is a large amount of
of food.
food, right?
It's a
Just
ton.
starting at food, it's a large amount of food. I see a lot of ones in the chat. I see some twos, which is awesome. Arthur, I see you in the chat, brother. First of all, welcome. Make sure you jump into our Discord, Arthur. The link is down below. I think you're going to be really interested. We're dropping little Easter eggs, and this video is actually one big Easter egg for all of you.
Yeah, pretty much,
in the
right?
Discord.
And the problem is, you might have stacked up a lot of food, or you're trying to stack up a lot of food, but do you know how to store it properly to make it last that long period of time, right? Because not everything is an MRE. You're not just gonna buy. At the end of the day, they are a bit expensive. You can't just buy an endless amount of them. You're gonna want to buy other things, but you need to be able to store them properly in certain areas. You can't just, hey, I'm gonna collect water and I'm just going to put it anywhere in any type of container. No, there's special containers. You got to put them in special places, and it can't be exposed to a certain type of light. It needs to be a certain type of container with a special plastic that light doesn't go into, create, algae and all kinds of stuff, contaminate your water. There's a lot that goes into every single simple thing that you do in your life right now. You walk up to your fridge and just magical water comes out of it.
That's right.
That goes away. Like, there is so many steps that take into just taking care of water, just holding on to food for long periods of time without refrigeration.
Yep.
Cooking food. Dude, so much, many little
it's so much
details.
that we take. It's so much that we take for granted. So let's back up a little bit, okay? So it goes down, and you're not prepared, okay? So you say, okay, how much? Like, I've got to be able to.
I'm going to Walmart.
I've got to be able to transact, right? Oh yeah, everybody's going to Walmart, right? Everybody's solution. Everybody's going to Walmart. So there is going to be it will be a massacre at Walmart.
Have you seen World War Z?
Don't go there.
With Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
World War Z, when he goes to the store to go get medication for his daughter,
the place to go.
At the grocery store, and it's chaos in there.
Yes.
Chaos.
Yes.
All rules go out the window. Not even the cops were caring. The cop was literally just running by, trying to get resources just like everybody else was. No authority. Nobody's coming to save you in a situation like that. You're going to have to save yourself.
So let's get into the monetary side before we continue farther into the discussion, okay? So everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. I think that was Mike Tyson that said that, right? And ultimately, Miguel and I talked to you a lot about Bitcoin, about other cryptocurrencies. And we talked to you about self-custody. We talked to you about your hardware wallet. And so I know what's going through people's minds right now. They're thinking, well, I mean, my hardware wallet is not going to, I'm not going to have access to my actual keys if the whole power grid is down. Let me start off with this. If it goes down, in my estimation, I don't know that it will be down for that long, but the communication will be a huge part of what needs to happen. That will be because in my estimation, if it goes down, there's something at play, like it's happening because for a reason, right? And so kiss goodbye Facebook, kiss Twitter goodbye, kiss TikTok, all of these ways that we're able to communicate right now, kiss them goodbye. But check this out. So we talk about self-custodying our Bitcoin. I've got a really cool thing here. We can talk more about this some other time. This thing's called the Crypto Tag. I did a video on it. It is bulletproof. It is fireproof. And ultimately, it is 2 pieces of metal that have numbers that you punch out. And it gives you basically codes to what your private keys are. Okay? So that is a fantastic option for somebody to be able to store their keys. But the problem becomes, okay, let's say I am prepared in that manner. I don't have any way to send Bitcoin between 2 people, but do you? Let's
we do.
Let me show you a little something. So let me share my screen here. No internet, no problem. How to send Bitcoin? Let me zoom in on this. No internet, no problem. How to send Bitcoin by amateur radio. In an age where governments are trigger happy at censoring or shutting down networks, it's reassuring to know that Bitcoin can operate sans internet. Sans internet means without internet. Network censorship, after all, is not some dystopian storyline, but a power exercised by many democratic governments across the world. Thankfully, There are solutions that enable people to send and receive Bitcoin, even in a worst case scenario. For an advanced technology, it turns out that cryptocurrency can get surprisingly low tech. Imagine waking up one morning, you find out the internet is down. Not because your Wi-Fi has been disconnected. Instead, your government has pulled the plug. You've no idea when it'll be back online. And in the meantime, you're cut off from life as you know it, ranging from contact with loved ones abroad to paying for anything by card. Since society isn't big on keeping cash these days, and ATMs stock up only on so much paper at a time, chances are you'll have to sidestep or engage in a few fistfights if you're to put a meal on the table. Since Bitcoin is itself a form of digital currency, it takes a good amount of pre-planning to set up a transaction. But in theory, it could still operate even when conventional options are forcefully removed from the equation. While to most of us hopefully never experience a dystopian world of intermittent internet, the productivity sages remind us that a failure to plan is planning to fail. Knowing how to transact with cryptocurrency in a chaotic world is the sort of knowledge that might just someday come in handy, and in the meantime, will make you the most interesting guest at a dinner party. So check this out. I'm gonna skip the political stability and information there. Bitcoin over airwaves. 2014 saw the earliest mentions of Bitcoin being sent via the airwaves. Ham radio coin was one of the early vanity altcoins geared at the ham radio industry. While it wasn't entirely clear why said niche industry needed a dedicated currency, its current $794 market cap, unchanged since May of 2017, adds to crypto's rich historical arsenal of questionable coins. But the idea of marrying Marconi and Satoshi was bound to lead to more useful experiments. A step in the right direction saw a Finnish company, can't even say that, propose the creation of peer-to-peer half-duplex CB/ham radio cryptocurrency. Also in Finland, Crypto Radio partnered with the national broadcaster to pilot a cryptocurrency data transmission system that broadcasts Bitcoin transactions, blocks, and currency exchange data via national DVB-T television networks in real time. The project failed to launch in its commercial phase, with founder Joel explaining that the project raised huge audience and there's been some serious commercial interest, but nothing I'm really interested in because they would destroy the original idea, distributing the Bitcoin ledger autonomously without internet connectivity. We go down farther, and ultimately, I'm gonna jump out of here. But ultimately, well, I don't want to bore everybody to death. They have figured out a way to do this, and if you ultimately are prepared, if you have that knowledge that I've just dropped so gracefully into your lap, then you would be probably ahead of the game. Because let's talk about it, Miguel. If this were to happen, we don't believe that it's going to happen for some crazy long time. But
hey, look what happened. Look what happened to Texas just a little short while ago.
Yes, but
they were out of power for quite a bit of time.
Exactly, but people are ultimately going to be like, you know what? It's going to come back on. Therefore, I will absolutely take this transaction right now, understanding that it's going to come back on soon, and I'm going to have that store of value that someone has transferred over to me. Thoughts?
So my problem with that is that there's no guarantee that the power is going to come back on, right? It happened in Texas recently, and yes, it was just in Texas. The rest of the United States still had power, right? You could ship resources down, keep the people, without going into chaos, right? Food would still be transported, goods will still reach the stores, so and so forth and so on. But if it starts to expand into multiple states and you start putting stress on all these supply chains even greater than just one massive state, then we already see what the supply chains are stressed out with right now with the fog around the world, and the supply chains are still stressed out. That's why the Federal Reserve keeps talking about supply chains. And yeah, the inflation might keep going because supply chains haven't fixed themselves. Imagine in a grid down situation where now we have 20, maybe 30 states, maybe 15 states out of power. We're talking about full-on states without power. Where are the supply chains going then? Done. They cannot support 15 states without power and support all those people there with the rest of the states that are available.
Okay,
we're that right there alone would just
smash
everything.
So pause. So you like to believe that it's not going to be off for long, but that therein lies a possible problem where
you pray for the best, but you prepare for the worst. That's how it goes. If you're just hoping for the best and you're not preparing for the worst, when the worst comes along, unfortunately, you're done. You know,
Yep.
victory favors the prepared.
That's absolutely correct. And so ultimately, as we dive farther into this, I want to throw out there, if you're not already in our Discord, jump into our Discord. We've been dropping Easter eggs there. This is the biggest of all Easter eggs that we've thrown out there. Guys, the facts are we live in a world today that is very uncertain. We have leaders that are willing to shut things down, banking, who knows what else, at the drop of a dime, just because they believe that they should be able to make a decision for you in everything that you do. The reality is, if this happened, what we're talking about, it would create panic. It would be devastating. Look, so it would devastate everything, including food, fuel supply, heat, air. Be prepared. But David, here's the facts. Most people are not prepared. So Miguel and I, because listen, and we're not trying to sell you fear here. We're just trying to let you guys know that there is an answer to this problem. Okay. And the answer is actually being prepared. But a lot of people don't know how to do that or where to go with that. Okay. We do have, without diving too far into it, we do have an NFT project. Like I said, jump into our Discord that has actual real world use case, and you can take that for what it's worth. We are taking this like somewhere, okay? And I'd hate for you guys to miss out on something that actually could change your life should something go wrong. The fact is, your metaverse character or whatever use case you get, a tokenized form of your NFT, whatever, your Bored Ape Yacht Club game that they're starting, their metaverse, none of that will mean anything in a situation like this. But I'll tell you what will mean something: knowing what to do, knowing how to filter your water, knowing how to cook your food, knowing how to store different things, knowing how to protect yourself, knowing, and that comes by doing.
And on top of just knowing, it's community, right? No one can survive on their own. You just can't. And you can't take on the world. It's impossible. There's too many things to manage. People don't understand how many things you need to manage when you're in a situation like this, right? We're talking about grid down, not coming up anytime, rules are out the window. The minute you step out of your house, whoever you left behind is left behind. Do they have a way to protect themselves? Do you have people protecting those people? Do those people, if you don't come back, can they sustain themselves if you don't come back, right? All these things are big questions. So you can't just survive by yourself. Oh yeah, I'll just take my wife and kids and we're going to fight the world. You're not going to
last. Going to lose.
Yeah, you're not going to last out there. And it's and the reason why you won't last is because it's not because of violence, it's not because of anything like that. The smallest things, you cut your hand, you cut your foot. If you don't have proper medical care to how to sanitize that, how to keep that clean, how to keep that wound clean, how to dress that wound, you're gonna get an infection. Then you're not gonna have a doctor to go to. Then what happens? You're gonna chop your hand off. You're gonna bleed out, right? The infection grows. You get a fever. We can't control the fever. See you later. Died of a simple hand wound or a cut on the foot, right? Simple things like sanitation and medical care will take you out of the game if you don't have someone. So I'm not saying everybody needs to go out there and be a medic, but if you have a community, some people are medics. Some people go out. Some people. Everyone has different purposes, does different things, and that's how it works to survive.
There's a reason that we have so many different people across the earth doing so many different things, because they all serve a purpose, right? You cannot do or know everything. And so ultimately, if you are able to get intertwined with a community of people that are like-minded, that have a common goal in mind, let's just say surviving, right? That also have even a background in something such as, I'll use cryptocurrency, that there's those attributes where two people come together. Like the fact that Miguel and I came together to start a business together is nothing short of a small miracle. Let me tell you why. It is not easy nowadays to not only find someone that you can like really jive with, but ultimately someone that has the same mindset, motivation, get goals, like all of these different things that come together. And that's what a community like this that we are trying to put together will be doing. It will be pushing and motivating people that really want to do something different, really want to start and do and be something different. The reality is the cryptocurrency is absolutely and has absolutely been life-changing for Miguel and I and many others probably in this chat. But the reality, if we really bring it down to a what's the level I'm trying to say, like a carnal level, we can't do a whole lot if we don't know how to do basic things. Like back in the day, if we go back to like the Renaissance period, many people died from simple things such as the flu or like Miguel said, cuts from infections and all of these things. And we look at them now and you would never die from that. Like rarely would you ever. But it's because we do have good healthcare. It's because we do know things now that we didn't know then. And the reality is, my wife's a nurse. I was in the Marine Corps. There are things that, I own a construction company. So right there, you would assume that building, fighting, right, self-defense, whatever, and medical needs are taken care of, if you will, within my house. But guess what? There's a lot of other things that you just can't take for granted that you're going to have. And as one person, you can only do so much. So that is what our Discord is pushing, is pushing towards. That is what, this is the idea, right? There's way more to this, but our NFT project that we are throwing out there is actually going to help you. It's going to be wild. And I'm going to tell you guys now, you can clip this, you can record this, you can play this back. This will age well. The people that we are in
talking to,
the people that we're talking to are going to listen. This is going to sell out, okay? And depending on what you view the benefits of it, I view the real world use cases that we're going to be giving you when we throw out this roadmap and as we continue to move forward with the project are going to be where you look at it and you say, oh my gosh, this answers a lot of questions. This is where I need to be. I'm going to be a part of this community. But also because we know this is going to be such a big hit, because we have the connections that we do have and we're going to be utilizing as what we're doing, it also, we believe, is going to do very well as far as financially as well. So depending on what your game plan is, what you want to do or what you like to do as it relates to NFTs, join the Discord link below, just like Miguel just put up on the
man. It's the thing is, too many NFT projects, and I get it, right? The metaverse, it's the new exciting frontier. It's cool. But until we can digitize our brains and save ourselves from real physical danger, that's not going to be the ultimate solution, right? You can't just escape into the metaverse and forget about your problems, forget about the real world. That's what they want you to do. They want you to jump into the metaverse and forget about the real problems. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what they shown in Player Ready 1. Everybody uses metaverse as an escape reality, and it's cool. And I like that stuff, right? I like jumping into the metaverse, and I would like to play, but I am aware I'm still a physical being surrounded by other physical beings with real life problems. And if the time comes, I need to be able to do what I need to do in the real world with the people that I know and the community that I'm with, and leave the metaverse behind, because the metaverse is not going to protect me. I can't just jump on my goggles and jump in the metaverse. Hey, you can't hurt me now. I'm in the metaverse, guys. You can't hurt me now, right? It doesn't work that way. So get in while you still can fit in.
Yeah, and Miguel, we've talked so much about what we're doing, where we're going, where this community is heading, and all of the things that we are bringing to the table. And guys, I just want to throw out there, like,
this is not even the tip of the
iceberg. This is a glass of $500 wine, and we just kind of ran it in front of your nose. You didn't get to drink it. You didn't get to taste it. You just got a little.
Dude. I would think if we're talking about the glacier model, it's like we shaved some ice off the tip.
Just whittled. At best. Just the tip. Just whittled it. Just give it a little whittle. And ultimately, you know what, Red Raider, the first book you need to read is a Bible. I am absolutely with you. We actually dropped a Bible verse in the Discord the other day. For those of you that don't know, we are definitely Christ followers, and we think that is an important piece as well. But at the end of the day, there are going to be things that need to happen in this world that I believe that most of you are not prepared for. That's just a freaking fact. I actually know that that's a fact. I mean, obviously I can't prove to you, but the statistics say that the majority of people in this chat are nowhere near ready. And so what I want to throw out there is a little bit of a challenge.
Not just in this chat, in the entire NFT space, in the entire crypto game, the majority of people in the crypto game have no preparedness at all.
I want to throw out a little bit of a challenge. If you are somebody that says, wow, you know what? I care about people. I care about our future. I care about our world. I'm not happy with how things are going right now. Then I would challenge you to share out our Discord, share out our YouTube, share out what we have going on, because we want to share the wealth, so to speak. We want to share what we have been so freely given with people, right? And knowledge is one of the most valuable things that you will ever come across. And there's going to be a lot more than just knowledge being dropped as part of this NFT project. I will tell you that it's going to be freaking exciting. And I don't know, man, I have not seen literally everybody that we've told had their reaction, from everybody from Ben, right, to Justin, to the couple people that we've talked to. Their response has been like almost like a jaw drop. They're like, oh, what? Like, really? And dude, like, it's great, dude.
I'm just excited to when we finally drop the roadmap, which will be dropping here shortly, few days, few weeks. What people's reactions are going to be to that. Like, I wish I had a camera and I could just record people as they're reading the roadmap on the website, and they're like, oh wait, this is happening. Yeah, I couldn't even imagine happening from what has been talked about on that show. I didn't even know we were going this far deep. Yeah. I mean, dude, it's gonna blow people away.
And ultimately, I don't want to go too far with it, but I just want to throw out there, like, yes, we're excited about it. Yes, it's going to be an NFT that people are purchasing, but the reality is this is about the community. This is legitimately about us trying to be in community with you guys, all of us together, because what I will say also is that Miguel and I very much believe in the power of the community and being able to make some decisions together as well. And so, I'm just saying there's 3 letters that might come to mind for those of you in the crypto space. And, that's just something that, down the road, hey, you want to be able to make decisions. You want to be able to be part of a community. Just throwing it out there. We can talk about it. So anything else, Miguel? Or did we miss anything we need to go over?
I mean, if people are still not excited about it after this, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe this project isn't for you, but if it is for you, don't miss out.
That's right. The hour and a half discussion that we had earlier, man, I got to tell you guys, if we can bring half the hype that was brought to us earlier today, guys, just stand by. So, Crypto fam, listen, we appreciate. Yeah, that's exactly what I said, Heidi. I'm definitely the one telling everybody to stock up on wine. That's really funny. The reality is, guys, we appreciate each and every one of you. We appreciate you for being here. We appreciate you for continuing to give us support. We love you guys. And so we want to share that with you. Definitely jump in, 100%. Check out our Discord. It's down below. We're already a community, but we're taking that community like up about 18,000 steps, right? Just absolutely blasting through the hemisphere and making this something just fantastic. So just remember to question everything.
Trust nothing.
And until next time, hodl
like it's hot.
We'll see you soon. Love you guys.
In a world where hopium and common sense collide, starring the CryptoKeeper and BlockchainCrusader.